Hello BookTube, Emmy Walker here to do my June wrap-up, which is kind of depressing this month considering, as I've mentioned before, I've been in a bit of a slump with my first trimester nausea and everything like that, but I did finish 3 books, and Jessie the Reader said it best that, some people don't even read that many books in a year, so I still should be, proud of myself for at least finishing 3 books in 1 month, so that's pretty good. Not up to my usual standards, but I'm perfectly okay with having only finished 3, especially considering I just wanted to curl up in a ball and die. But anyway, I'm starting to get a little bit more normal, at least I'm feeling normal today, which is great and which is why I've chosen to actually film the video today. So I can't remember the exact order I finished these, but it doesn't really matter, honestly. The first book I read in June is Merlin. This is the first book. This is called The Lost Years. This is by T.A. Barron. And it was supposed to be a part of the readathon that was in the beginning of June, which I can't remember what it's called right now. I think it was TBR Takedown, which I epically failed. But I didn't even finish this one until the end of the month, so clearly I crapped that out. But, whatever. I at least finished a book that I intended to read this month. But this one's actually pretty good. I will definitely be continuing on with the series, hopefully sometime soon. I've been really bad about starting the first book or the first few books and then just putting off the rest. And yeah, I need to stop doing that. The last 2 books I finished this month were both on my Kindle or my Kindle app on my phone, because I can't remember where my Kindle is, but, at least I can still use the Kindle app. The first book I finished, I actually started back in May, but I finally finished it, and that was An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. And I started off that book a little skeptical. I enjoyed it, I enjoyed the world, but there was just stupid things like grammatical errors, or the dialogue was really, I don't know, forced, I guess. And I'm really weird with dialogue. If it's not natural, it just throws me off. But it got so much better within a few chapters. It just, all of that was gone and the story became amazing. And if there were any errors in grammar or dialogue awkwardness, clearly I understand dialogue awkwardness. But anyway, if there was any of that, I didn't even notice it because the story was so incredible, and I'm very excited for what I'm assuming will be a second book, because that was quite a cliffhanger we were left on. Yeah. And the final book I read for June was one of the 2 indie book club books for the month of June, obviously, and that was the Summer Solstice series. This is book 1, Enchanted, by K.K. Allen. And there were 2 books for that month. I think the other one was called Atomic Aardvark by Ryan Guy. I never got around to it. It didn't really look like my kind of thing, so I didn't even bother picking that up. Maybe eventually I'll feel more in a comedic mood, but I wasn't really feeling it this month. The Summer Solstice was actually pretty good. Again, I have kind of issues with dialogue, and I felt like a lot of the times it was very expositional, I guess. Just very unnatural. But otherwise the story was great. I wish there had been more magic. There was so much leading up to what was going on, and then when we finally get to understand what's happening in her world, and I can't remember her name right now, I feel like I'm drawing a blank, but anyway, the main character, and then we have maybe 3 or 4 chapters, and then we don't get to see really much after that point. I know there's more books, and so hopefully we'll get to see more, and I am intrigued to read the next ones to see if we get to see more of that magical element. But I was a little disappointed that we didn't get to see more of it in this book. I felt like there was a lot of lead up, but again, you're kind of developing this world and trying to get to know the characters, so that happens, but I just wanted more, I guess. So that's the author did her job, and she made you want more. Alright, so those were all the books I read in June, all 3 of them, and I figured this video would be kind of short because of that, so I was going to add on my June book haul as well, which will also be very short because I didn't actually step in a bookstore last month, or this month, still June technically, and yeah, so I did happen to pick up 1 book at Target when I was there, and I did a bit of book shopping on Book Outlet, but I never actually went out to a bookstore, which is really unusual. I go to a bookstore at least 3 times a month. Whether I buy something there, well, I will always buy something if I step in a bookstore, but anyway, so I will show you the few books that I purchased in those 2 places. So the first book I picked up was from Target, and that was The Girl in 6E, and this is by A.R. Torr, I think is how you say the last name. I had heard about this book over at Lindsay Ray channel, and then also at Eleanor Reads Books, and sounded really cool. I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's about a girl who keeps herself trapped in the apartment so she won't kill people. I mean, even on the back it says, you know, follow these simple rules. 1, don't leave the apartment. 2, never let anyone in. 3, don't kill anyone. And I thought that was kind of funny, and yeah, so this sounds interesting, and hopefully I'll get to it soon. The Book Outlook books I actually already opened. I discovered that unboxing in this little square here that I have is very awkward. I keep, you know, ramming my elbows into things, and it's just whatever. So I already unboxed it and put them in a pile over here, but I will show you them right now. And I slowly collecting all of the Last Apprentice series books. So I got well, let me put them in a better order here. So I got book 7, which is The Rise of the Huntress, and book 9, the Grimalkin the Witch Assassin. That's book 9. And then this is I Am Alice. This is book 12. And all of these are by Joseph Delaney. This is the Last Apprentice series. Or they call it something else too. The Wardstone Chronicles, I think, is the other name for it. And then this one here, I'm not exactly sure what this is. It's a Coven of Witches. It doesn't say it's a part of the series. I don't know if it's just like a little side story or what, but I figured I would still get it to, you know, continue on with the series and collect them all. And then the last 4 books I got from Book Outlet, I am a moron when it comes to Book Outlet, because I don't notice when I pick the exact same book. This is the second time I've done this, and I've purchased the same book, just a hardcover versus a trade paperback. I don't know if I was just sleeping when I did this or what, but so when I got the Song of the Lioness series, I wanted to get like the nice covers of them. So this is the 4th book, A Song of the Lioness. This is Lioness Rampant. And then I got The Woman Who Rides Like a Man, that's book 3. And then another copy of A Woman Who Rides Like a Man, book 3. And then I got book 2, and apparently I didn't notice that this cover was not the cover that matched these versions, which I've obviously covered, so you can't see them. These versions, they don't match. This is book 2, but it doesn't match, and that aggravates me. I wanted all of these copies, not these copies. Whatever. Anyway, so at some point or another I'll probably do a giveaway for these 2 books, because this series, I just kind of wanted all to match. I'm not always really picky about that stuff, but I got these ones specifically so that they would all match. Alright, there you have it, my June wrap-up and my June book haul. I'll let you guys know in the future when I plan to do a giveaway for those 2 books. We'll see eventually when I will do that. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, and otherwise I will see you later, BookTube!